Welcome back everyone. I know you like mysteries, and for me, one of the most mysterious places on the whole planet is the ocean. I'm sure you've heard the old quote that we know more about the surface of the moon than the bottom of the ocean. That's just what I've heard, but it does make sense. Most of the bottom of the ocean has never even been seen before by human eyes. What kind of mysteries lie down there in the murky depths? We're only just beginning to find out, and the stuff we're finding is pretty incredible. My name is Danny Burke, and this is the top 10 scary underwater mysteries. Starting off at number 10 now, we have the ice finger of death. This footage was captured by the BBC off the coast of Antarctica. A creepy, twisting column of ice reaches down to the sea floor and then begins to spread out, killing every living thing it touches. You can see it here just wiping out a whole colony of unwitting crabs. It's caused by new sea ice forming at the surface of the water that is so salty it begins to sink and freeze. This is called a brinicle. Now at first it baffled scientists and scared people who saw the footage, with some people calling it slow lightning and wondering if larger versions could form that could actually threaten humans. For now though, scientists are continuing to unpick this fascinating mystery and study the ice fingers of death. Moving on to number 9 now, we have the MILLENNIUM FALCON. In June 2011, a scan of the ocean floor near Sweden and Finland revealed something very strange. It looked, and there's no other way to say this, like the Millennium Falcon spaceship from Star Wars. Don't believe me? Take a look for yourself. It was found at the bottom of the Baltic Sea and scientists were absolutely baffled. In the absence of any real answers, people just started coming up with their own theories, which ranged from a simple rock formation to a crashed UFO. Eventually, a team from Ocean X went down there to investigate. At first, they thought it was just a stone cliff, but as they approached it, they realized it was more in the shape of a giant mushroom with rounded sides and rugged edges. It had an egg-shaped hole at the top as well as strange circle formations that looked like small fireplaces. They were even covered in something that looked like soot. The team concluded that it must be a natural formation, but they don't understand how it was formed, especially because no volcanic activity has ever been reported in the Baltic Sea. Do any of you have any good theories? Next up at number 8 now, we have the underwater pyramid. A few years ago, a huge anomaly was found off the west coast of Mexico. To many people, it looked like a pyramid, but deep underwater. Now of course this caused an explosion online among UFO enthusiasts who believed it to be an ancient relic of an alien civilization. It was first spotted by UFO enthusiast Marcelo Igazusta, who was using Google Earth to search for signs of global UFO activity. Now to this day you can still use his coordinates to go and see that feature on Google Earth. It's thought to be about 11 miles across, which would make it about 10 times the size of the Great Pyramid of Cholula, the largest known pyramid structure on the planet to date. The area is a hotbed of volcanic activity and the feature may very well be a product of that, but this hasn't stopped the UFO enthusiasts searching for more answers. Moving on to number 7 now, we have the underwater rivers. In Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula lies a very interesting phenomenon, underwater rivers, and they look like this. But how exactly does this happen? Well, basically when a limestone bedrock collapses, it sinks and forms a pit. This creates a reservoir that then fills up with a mixture of fresh and groundwater and salt water. Finally, when organic matter ends up in there and decomposes, it produces hydrogen sulfide, which separates the fresh water at the top from the seawater below. Now all of this understanding is quite a recent thing. To the first divers that saw this, it simply looked like an underwater river. Next up at number 6 now, we have the Milky Sea. For centuries, sailors who have been out to the most distant parts of the ocean kept reporting a mysterious phenomenon all over the world, the Milky Sea. Miles and miles of pale, milky, glowing water. When they returned, many people didn't believe them or thought they were just mistaken. But in the modern era, sailors are still reporting it. Finally, in 2005, a group of scientists led by Dr. Stephen Miller of the Naval Research Laboratory in Monterey, California, decided to investigate. They studied reported cases and found that on at least one occasion there was a bioluminescent bacteria in the water known as Vibrio harveyi. In order for them to cause the effects that have been described, they would have to congregate in massive numbers, and that is still very much a mystery. There are theories out there, but the Milky Sea story is not over yet. and I think that's really cool. Moving on to number 5 now, we have PAVLOPETRI. This is an ancient Greek city, thought to be over 5,000 years old. In 1000 BC, an earthquake resulted in the entire city being swallowed up by the sea. The area never re-emerged again, and so it has been relatively well preserved. Entire roads, houses, gardens, temples and cemeteries are almost as they were the day they were flooded. In 2009, scientists used sonar mapping techniques developed by the military to make PAVLOPETRI the first submerged town to be digitally surveyed in 3D. Now scientists have a big task ahead of them to figure out who these people were, what their lives were like, and where did they go when their homes sunk beneath the waves. Next up at number 4 now, we have the giant squid. For centuries, sailors told tales of the Kraken, an impossibly big squid-like creature that lived at the bottom of the ocean, only surfacing to smash up ships and drag sailors down to their watery graves. Although the Kraken has now fallen into folklore, a very real creature may have taken its place, the giant squid. It can grow up to 55 feet long and was never even photographed alive until 2004. Scientists know very little about this creature. They don't know its daily behavior patterns. They don't know whether it comes to the surface or remains deep at the bottom of the ocean all of the time. They don't know how fast it can swim, whether it uses its tentacles to catch prey. They don't even know what it eats or how long they live for. The giant squid may prove to be one of the last mysteries of the ocean, forever lurking below the depths of human knowledge. Moving on to number 3 now, we have the immortal jellyfish. Some humans search for immortality. One species may already have the answer to that. The scientific name for this jellyfish is Turritopsis dawni. Its nickname is the immortal jellyfish. Just like every other living thing, it ages, except when it comes to the point where it should start dying, the immortal jellyfish just says, nah. It then reverts back to its sexually immature stage, essentially becoming a child again. Their tentacles retract, their bodies shrink, and they sink to the ocean floor to start their whole cycle all over again. Now scientists still aren't sure about how the jellyfish are able to do this. That's one reason to study them. Another is that if we find out how they're doing this, we could use it to fight old age diseases in humans, or maybe even figure out immortality for ourselves. Do you think that's a good idea though? At the number 2 spot now, we have the purple orb. In 2016, the team operating the exploration vessel Nautilus came across a strange purple orb on the ocean floor off the coast of California, and it appeared to be alive. The scientists were stumped. They had never seen anything like it before. They joked about it being a spider egg sac or a tiny mama octopus. They even nicknamed it Blobus purpurus, and they weren't the only ones who were interested in it. A crab was there too. The crab was just knocking this purple blob around, and the team had to basically prise it from its claws to retrieve it. After taking it back to a lab to study, scientists were very puzzled as to what exactly it was. After analysing it though, they believed it to be a variant of a sea slug. A purple orb sea slug. And finally, number 1 now, we have the bloop. In 1997, the bloop sound was heard deep underwater in the Pacific by multiple listening stations that were thousands of miles apart. Take a listen to the famous bloop. What was that? It was a total mystery. What made the bloop sound? Theories started to arise. Many believed that it was made by a massive unknown animal that had been awoken at the bottom of the ocean, but what could make a noise that loud? After studying the noise, NOAA, the research group, had determined that the noise wasn't made by an animal, but rather a natural event instead. They believed that it was the cracking of an ice shelf breaking up in Antarctica that sent sound waves right through the Pacific. Now of course, even to this day, there's a hardcore group of people that still believe the bloop was definitely animal made. Alright, here we are at the end of the video. It's time to take a quick look at some of your comments now. These came from my Sydney Urban Legends video. Jordan Corey said, "My grandfather was helping constructing the Sydney Harbour Bridge. When it collapsed, his friend pushed him away so he survived." Whoa. That is really intense. I'm glad your granddad survived, and also well done to his friend. Does anyone else have a similar story to that? Were you or any of your relatives or friends involved in the construction of an iconic landmark? I'd love to know. Tracy Cornwall said, I'm from Western Sydney and I have dead set heard the Black Panthers outside my bedroom. I live on 15 acres right next to National Park. Oh, okay, you have actual panthers right outside your house. Now where I'm from in England, there's always been a rumour of a panther wandering around the area, but nobody seriously believes it. You on the other hand, it's all true. There's actual panthers outside your bedroom window, and you seem to be quite chill about it from this comment. I'm impressed. You've got to love Australians. And of course, the rest of you too. That's all for now, guys. Thanks as always for watching. My name is Danny Burke, and I will see you all in the next video.